Hello, welcome to the Creative Wrapping Ideas with Fimo. I'm Emma from Studio 77. Thanks so much for joining me on the world's biggest virtual Christmas market. I'm really excited to be here and to show you some fun clay ideas for your wrapping presents. So the idea behind this is that you can use any just plain brown paper and jazz it up with Fimo or Polymer Clay and make it something that's really nice to give and that the receiver will enjoy it, and they can keep the little keepsake on the top as well. So I'm going to show you two ideas using Polymer Clay, and these are the things that ideally you'll have to do this tutorial. Some of them are optional, you can pick and choose, you can add, if you've got any cute little bells or bows or little bits and bobs, you can add, that's the beauty of this. You can do what you like and get creative, and it's a good excuse to get creative. So obviously you're going to need your Polymer Clay, and this is a kit that I really recommend. It's just off of Amazon, and as you can see, it's called Kiara Q. We can put the links are all in the description of the tutorial as well. So it's just regular oven baked clay, it's just not Fimo. But I also got, because these are just plain colours, as you can see, get quite a good selection, and you get tools as well, and you get some little findings too. Not that we're going to use them today, but it's good for other projects. And I can see we've got some people joining us. Hi from Ontario. Hello, Santa. Hello from America. Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I tried to be a bit festive with my Merry Grinchmas jumper, trying to get in the spirit, even though it kind of doesn't feel Christmassy yet. Anyway, back to the tutorial. So you're going to need your Fimo. As I say, you only get plain colours in that kit. So I also got a sparkly colour, white, which is hard to see, but it's got a bit of sparkle in, which is quite nice. And then you're going to need some ribbon to attach it to your gift. And I'm going to be using these stampers. They're like holly shapes, but you could cut them out with a knife if you wanted to as well, if you're handy with a blade. I'm also going to be using a blade, a rolling pin. Now, it's good, even though Polymer Clay and Fimo is generally not toxic, it's really good to use one that's not, that you don't use for food, because just in case, it's not good to use it across the two things. And then the only tool you're really going to need is a pointy stick. So you don't have to use a special tool, anything that can make a hole is good. And then optional is some paint and a paintbrush and a ruler we're going to use, and I think that might be it. Oh, and a pencil and some paper. So the first thing we're going to do, we've got hi from Scotland, hi from Montreal, hello, hi Claire. So the first one we're going to do is I'm going to do a luggage tag, or a tag, not a luggage tag, like a gift tag to go on top of your present. So as I say, I've wrapped some brown paper gifts so that we're going to decorate those, and we're going to start with some of the white Fimo. And I have you need to kind of smush it up a bit and get it kind of activated, if you like. And when you're not using your Fimo, you can also, you should wrap it in cling film just to keep it nice and, so it doesn't go off, kind of thing. Hi from LA, happy holidays, hello. Yeah, so we just need to smush up our Fimo. You can also do all of this with silk clay as well, or air dry clay. It's just for the second one I'm going to show you, it's going to take a bit of strain. Actually, you can see it up here. It's going to take a bit of strain, so the Fimo is quite good because it's a bit sturdier. So just going to get that ready. It's kind of activated, and I'm going to roll it out. Now, I should say, as I'm rolling this out, a little bit about Studio 77. So I've been making toys and gifts over at Studio 77. So there's a T in between the two sevens. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and now I'm on YouTube. So recently I started a YouTube channel because although I love making the toys and gifts and have the most amazing customers, I wanted to start teaching people how to make them themselves. So it's predominantly sewing at the moment, but I am going to be moving into more crafts as well. And yeah, so if you search for Studio 77, it's written up here as well, hope you can see that, on YouTube, and it's in the description as well. You can find me there, and there's loads of free patterns and tips and techniques for sewing. And as I say, there's going to be more crafts coming up. So what we're going to do, or what I am doing, is I'm just drawing a line with my blade, if you like, if you want to call it drawing, just to make that a nice straight edge, because this is the beginning of the tag, the gift tag. And I'm eyeballing it, but you could measure it out if you wanted to. And of course, that's gone a bit awry, as things do when you're live. And then I'm just gonna, this ruler's really good because it's a quilting ruler. I use quilting rulers for everything just because they've got really good, I don't even see, but they've got really good, lines. So you can, it's just really helpful for drawing straight lines and good right angles. So I'm going to place that on there and just get a nice right angle for the bottom of my tag. And also I'm using just a really cheap cutting mat. I think I got this from a supermarket, and you get like 4 different colors, and they're just really good because they're you know, you can keep them for different things, and obviously you can cut on them so you know that you're not going to go through to your table. And for polymer clay, you need it to be nice and clean. So I find these work really well. They're also really good for kids if you've got kids and you want to do crafts and things. So I've made the main bit of my gift tag, and I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to mark 2 kind of dots, if you like, 2 little notches. It's probably really hard for you to see, but I have. And then I'm just going to go up, and I'm going to mark in the middle. Doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm going to join those 2 lines so that it's going to give that gift tag kind of look, that gift tag shape. And then I'm just going to chop the top. If you have any questions, please do pop them in the comments. And if you're watching this on replay, just let us know in the comments as well. There we go. So we've got that kind of gift tag shape. And then, of course, we want to have a hole to thread it through. So I'm going to use my pointy tool, technical term, and I'm just going to pop that in there, in the middle. So we get a nice kind of round hole. Now, there's different ways you can decorate this. You can, of course, just paint straight on it after you've baked it, or I'm going to use these alphabet stamps. Now, I use these a lot. I've used them a lot on my tutorials over on my YouTube if you want to see them being used more, and I use them a lot with fabric and fabric paint. It's a really nice way to personalize things, and they're just off of Amazon, and you get, you know, capitals and little letters. And I'm just going to stamp on there, and I'm going to stamp Merry and Bright. So let's put that where you can see it. Hopefully my head won't get in the way because I need to get quite close. But the other thing as well I've noticed when using the white is that it's really going to be hard for you to see on this tutorial, but it doesn't come out that much. But I've made one before, and I'll show you how it looks when you've painted it. It just makes it easier to get a really nice uniform painted look to lettering if you're not that confident with your lettering. Also, I've noticed some people putting in the comments where you're from. It'd be great to know where you're from. Let us know. See how far we're reaching. Say hello. I'm from, so you're from Surrey in BC. I'm from Surrey in UK. I'll just tell you a little bit about my background. As well as Studio 77, I'm also a face painter, although not at the moment, of course, because of COVID. And my career is that I'm a creature costume maker for film and TV. So in between that, I do this, and I just love kind of doing all different things. So keeps me busy, keeps me happy. Hello from Lake City, Michigan. Hello, Oil Springs, Ontario. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so I've done, I don't know if you can see that, but I've done Merry and I'm now doing Bright. And you can just push them in. And sometimes you do get the outside of the lettering. Hi from Texas, hello. You do get the outside of the lettering, kind of the stamp, kind of push in, but I don't think it matters too much. It doesn't show up that much, and I don't find it to be a problem. But you could probably smooth it out afterwards if you wanted to. So there's the eye, and I've done this many, many times, so I'm kind of used to the placement and how these particular stamps work. But find if you sort of put your, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm putting my head down to one side to see the placement so that I'm not going on top of the lettering. I find that works quite well. Hello from Hull, hello. So there we go, we've got Merry and Bright. So I'm going to peel that off, I'm going to lift that with my knife if it doesn't want to come. Just kind of go along the edges. This is a bit of a kind of hairy bit to make sure it doesn't kind of go wrong. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to see. Oh, there we go. Can you see that? Just about. There we go. Okay. So then you would bake that, and of course there's instructions on all the different polymer clay, but a lot of them say 30 minutes, but I would say go for 15 is fine. You don't want to over bake it because, you know, obviously it can burn and you've wasted your project. So I'm just going to put that to one side and then do the next bit. Actually, I'll just leave it up there so you can see it. So the next bit of this kind of idea of gift wrapping, just going to get rid of my excess white and my letters. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you. So the next thing is we're going to use the leaf cutters, and these again are just from Amazon and they're in the description. They're just like icing cutters, but they're really good because I'm sure you've seen them before, but they're really good because when you push them, sorry, I'm getting used to this top camera. It's all backwards. When you push them, you've got the vein, so it just makes it really easy and quick. We're not going to use the little one though, because that's just a little bit too small. And I'm going to get my green, and I've got two different greens which I quite like doing this effect. And one of my friends, when I mentioned that I was doing this, she might be watching, she mentioned that she used to love Fimo, and yeah, I only really kind of discovered it again recently because my eldest daughter wanted to like have a go and make some stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to love Fimo, and then got back into it. And you know, there's loads of people, in fact I've seen some on the market selling earrings which are fantastic. There's some been really beautiful ones made out of polymer clay, and it's, you know, you can make so much stuff with it. It's such a versatile medium. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a really neat way to liven up some brown paper gifts, and obviously brown paper as well is really eco-friendly, really recyclable. A lot of the gift wrapping that you buy has got foil and glitter, new word for glitter, glitter and foil, and you just can't recycle it. It's oh, what is Fimo? No, it's not Play-Doh, it's polymer clay. So I don't know if you missed the beginning, but it's polymer clay. So you bake it in the oven. So you bake it in the oven at 110 degrees, which is, let me just check, 230 Fahrenheit. And you bake it for around 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the project, and then it goes hard. So we're doing prepping for the green leaves now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just lost you then. So we're just activating this Fimo, and I'm just going to roll that out, the dark green. And actually this is a bit that I played with earlier, so I don't know if you can see, but there's slightly green streaks in it, but I don't mind that. That's good. That's going to add to it because I'm going to make it even streakier now. And I'm going to add in some little light green bits. Is everyone still there? Give us a shout out. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are you still with us? We had a little glitch then, but I think we're back. So I'm just kind of putting blobs all over the dark green, and you'll see why in a minute. And there can be any shape, doesn't matter. Still here, thank you, Julie, that's good to know. It's very strange talking to yourself and not being able to hear anyone. So I'm then going to roll that out, and you can do that, you know, you can really play around, do different shapes, do dots. Thank you, I'm glad you can see me and hear me, that's good to know. And then you can place your leaf cutters how you want, so you can get quite cool designs. And again, I just kind of look to the side so that I can see the placement. Push it down first, give it a bit of a wiggle, and then push that plunger, so then it gets the kind of shape of the veins. And then the good thing as well is that you can push it, thank you Sarah, then you can push it out, so you can see it's got that really nice vein effect, and the two-tone just adds another kind of little dimension. My teen daughter started making Fimo earrings during lockdown, but has had problems with them snapping, cracking. Any tips? It may be that they're in the oven too long, Claire. How long, do you know how long she's baking them for? And also you have to make sure that it's definitely not over, is it 110? I always forget what temperature is. I feel like I have to check it each time I do it. Yeah, as long as it's not over 110. And I would try and do it for a bit shorter if you're finding that they're cracking. So these earrings, I don't know if you can see, I made these earrings, oh my hair's over the top, out of Fimo, and they're just literally like rolls kind of stuck together, so they look a little bit like a rainbow. So yeah, you can just have a play around, earrings, you know, brooches. I must make some Christmas ones. Actually, I thought the holly leaves might be quite good. So we've made one holly leaf, and I'm going to use the medium one as well, and just kind of give that a wiggle and push the plunger down. I did some Fino pendants, but find the backs won't stay on. Do you use glue? Yeah, you can use glue, or what you can do is you can kind of do your thing, and then you can put the back on, but then put Fimo between, like over the metal bit, so that the metal is sandwiched between two bits of Fimo, and the Fimo is touching both sides, and kind of blend that down before you bake it. Or you can use E6000 glue. That's my kind of go-to for all kinds of stuff. It sticks everything. It's just toxic, so you do have to be a bit careful. So yeah, we've done the second leaf, and I'm going to do one more. See if I can get another big one on that sheet. Oh, you're very welcome, Julie. Hope it helps. Oops, I lifted that up too soon. Shut down, hopefully that one will be all right. Push the plunger down. Yeah, that's fine. So that's excess now. So there we've got our 3 leaves, and then we want to make a hole in them again. So I'm just going to move those out of the way. So we just want to make a hole so that we can thread them in a minute. Just stick that pointy stick in. You could use a cocktail stick, end of a paintbrush, anything really. So there's your 3 holly leaves. ready. So I'm going to put those to one side again. And then we're going to make some holly berries to go with that as well. So you want to get your red. And actually, I'm going to use pink just because, I know that's not very holly berry, but because I'm a bit scared I'm going to run out of red, because I've already done some to show you guys, and I think I'm going to run out. So I'm going to use pink because I definitely want to use red for the next one. So to make your berries and to make any kind of Fimo beads, oh, hi Joan. Hello, my friend Joan. So to make the beads, you want to make a kind of fat little sausage, if you like. This is how I make them. I'm sure there's loads of different ways. And then you just want to chop at different points. You try and make them equal. I'm going to make 3. And it's important that you use a really sharp scalpel blade, just because you want to get it really clean with Fimo. And then we want to make that into a ball. And the good thing about this project, this design, if you like, is that they don't have to be completely regular. If they did, I probably would have cut it up a bit more, because this one obviously is going to be a bit smaller than the next two, but I'm not too worried about that. And so you've made a ball, and I find that normally when you make a ball, it's a bit hard to see, but it's shorter that way than it is that way. So I'm going to use that as my side to make the bead hole. And I'm just literally, a bit tricky to see from the top, but I'm just literally poking a hole in, and then I turn it over, poke a hole in the other side, and that kind of rounds it off. And so that's going to be my berry. I'm not going to make the other ones because I'm going to show you how we're going to put it all together. So normally you've done that, you would put that in the oven, as I say, for like 15 minutes or so. You know, you kind of need to play around and judge it. I'm going to move those out of the way, because let's pretend we've done that and we've got them out of the oven. Just that down there. This is my freshly baked. Here's one I made earlier. Any brands you prefer for a starter? Yes. I mean, I find that most brands are okay, but if you have a look on the link, there's a link with all the tools that I've used in this tutorial. And I found that this Kiara one is really good, and it comes with so many different colours, and it's just everything you need, especially if it's for kids as well. Me and my kids fight over it a little bit, over who's going to have what colours, but it's just got everything you need to get started, and you get like, I don't know, 5 little tools as well. So yeah, that's really good. But then the glitter and the kind of, you can get transparent, glow in the dark, leather effect, that's all by Fimo. But I'm sure in America and all around the world, there's different brands as well. So here's them out of the oven, and I've just painted over that one with this gold paint. And this is just Valspar, but you can literally use any kind of paint, acrylic. I just like this one because it's got more glitter in it. And I just literally used a little brush and I painted in, and I didn't worry too much if I went over the edges, because I just used a wet tissue and just kind of rubbed it in. And you can see it has got a bit of a blurry effect around the letters. But again, I personally don't mind that. But, you know, you might be a bit better at painting in the lines than I did. Or again, like I say, you don't even have to print the letters on. You could just paint them on, or even with a Sharpie, you could write over the top. You could write the recipient's name or whatever. Okay, so which ones we'll use these ones, and we'll use these, and then it's similar to what I made. Now I will just say that when I was making them before, I wanted to try it out, and I didn't do the whole beforehand, but what I did after is I just put the tip of the scalpel in like that and just twiddled it around, and I still got a hole. So if you wanted to do it afterwards, then that's totally fine as well. So I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way and get one of my, which one should we do? Let's do this one. So here's my present. There's definitely not gin inside this present that I might have drunk. So we want some just normal ribbon. This is just cheap old ribbon that you get for wrapping. And then what I quite like to do, so maybe you know this, but in case you don't, for wrapping I kind of measure like this, so I know that I'm going to need 2 long sides, 2 short sides, and then I always do a whole load extra, because who doesn't love curly ribbon on your present? And I might do a bit extra full up. And I haven't got any scissors, so I'm just going to use my blade. And then you start kind of find the middle. And I just want to check, I'm definitely going to go over, is that okay, Chantal? Better let me know. So start from the top, go round to the back. Yes, you can go. Okay, great, thank you. So that's the bottom. Oh, and also shout out to the range if you're in the UK. I've got these really cool washi tapes, like Christmas washi tapes. I can't remember how much they were, but I know that they were really good value. And they're here. You get like loads of different ones, and I thought that would look really nice on brown paper, just an extra little thing. So I quite like doing the ribbon so that it's to one side. You can do it in the middle, but I quite like doing it to one end. So I'm going to tuck that under. Let me know in the comments what your favourite thing is to make, or what your favourite craft is. I'd love to know what you'll do. Or if you're making any Christmas presents, let me know what you're making, as long as the people that you're making them for aren't watching. So I've just made a knot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do it from this way, and I might even wiggle that over a bit so it's offset. And I should mention as well, the reason why I've done 3 holly leaves and 3 berries is the rule of 3. It's always more aesthetically pleasing if you make 3 of something. It's just nicer on the eye rather than 2. Or you can do 5. Broken teacup pendants. Oh, they sound cool. Do you sell them, Tracy? So I'm going to knot that on my tag. I loved fused glassing, but only had 1 try of it about a year ago. Oh, that sounds fun, Claire. Right, so I've tied on my tag, and I'm going to use this piece as well. Hopefully I can get it through that tiny hole. Should be able to. This, because it's like the regular wrapping ribbon, you can just fold it and thread it through. It's quite nice, you don't have to get a needle or anything. Actually, I'm going to put on a what's it called? Berry. I keep losing my train of thought. They've only made them for friends and family. Oh, nice. Is that what you're making them for Christmas? So I'm just threading that on, and then I'm going to tie that back on itself. Just to keep it in place. I'm making felt beanie hats for my family. Oh, Joan, they're going to be amazing. So there we've got 1 holly on, and I'm going to use the other bit of ribbon to do another one. And then I'm going to do that a bit lower because I like it being different lengths. And if anyone, like our family this year, we're doing Secret Santa between us. So I'm actually only giving one adult gift. So, you know, you can really go to town with wrapping it as well. And you can get these little plastic kind of cabochons and different ways of decorating things, which you'll see in a minute. I'll show you on the next one. As you can see in the corner, the little holly up there. You can get things like that. And there's one place I really recommend called Happy Henna Bling. She does all like cabochons and gems, and that's in UK, although she might ship worldwide, I'm not sure. So that's that one. And then I'm going to cut another piece because I've got a third bit of holly. And actually, I'm going to use my kids' scissors that I do have to hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick that under that kind of four-way bit, tie it in a knot, but the knot's going to go under that bit, like that. And then I can put on my last bead. Hello, Elizabeth. How on earth are you making that look so easy? I get in a right mess just trying. I don't believe you, Claire. I know how talented Claire is. I do not believe you for a second. Claire, you can paint. Claire's a face painter. You can paint yours and it will look amazing. Yeah, so many face painters can't work at the moment. It's really sad, but there's been some amazing, amazing creativity come out of the face painting community. So we're going to knot that. And I'm going to knot that again. And actually, Claire, if you want an easy bow, you're saying you find it hard to make bows, you can just, so you know how I tied it at the beginning, and then the second bit, when I put the second bit of ribbon and tied that, and then just literally curl it, and it will just go into a kind of foof. Because then I'm going to curl the ends. We always have small table presents set out on the Christmas dinner table, these tags. Yes, they would, Joan. I hope you have a go at making them. They're really easy, especially if you get the cutters. And if you wash the cutters really well, you can use them for icing and stuff as well. So many uses. And the grandchildren. I know you've got grandchildren. I'd love them too. So then you just need to curl all the ends. And there we go. Ta-da! Love foofing. So there's our first tutorial. Hope you enjoyed that. And I will just mention before we go on to the second one, I'm going to sneak that in there, maybe you can see that. These little guys, I just want to mention these little guys and the stocking behind me. So this guy is on my YouTube at the moment. There's a free pattern and free tutorial. Oh, thank you, Julie. There's a free pattern and free tutorial over on the YouTube. And you just need to search for Studio 7T7. So there's a T between the two sevens. And this is the guy that's coming out tomorrow. He's coming out at 6 o'clock tomorrow on the channel. And I do a full tutorial step by step, and often free patterns as well. So you can, and all the description of all the fabrics and materials you need. And there's loads of sewing tips and techniques as well. Out of Fimo for Christmas. I'm going to make placeholders out of Fimo for Christmas now. Another craft project you've got me into. Sorry, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's a friend. I'm very much a craft enabler. Right, so let's get going on the second one. So the second one is going to be this one. And it's basically writing a name out of the Fimo. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Red Rocking Bird, can't wait to see the bear tutorial. Thank you. Right, so the first thing we need to do is I'm just going to make sure my hands are clean. That's the thing about Fimo, especially when you're using white Fimo. It tips up. Sorry, I'm just reading this other message. Okay, great. it picks up all the lint and everything, and it's a bit of a pain. So that's another tip to use the glitter, because it doesn't show up quite as much because it just kind of fades into the glitter. So that's another good reason to get the glittery one, because I've found that especially when my kids use plain white, it just shows up everything. It just looks grubby. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you wash your hands. You can guarantee it's going to pick something up. Like I've got this like holly shape here that I need to get rid of. So I'm just going to grab a baby wipe. Get rid of that. Don't want that. So has everybody done their Christmas shopping? It feels like it's ages away, but it's actually, I think I heard it's 35 days. It's actually quite soon, which is a bit scary because I don't think I have done even half of what I need to do. Right, so for this, the first thing we need to do, no, I know it's a bit scary, Julie, isn't it? First thing we need to do is we're going to draw out our design. Oh, that's still a bit wet. That was a bit silly. We're going to draw out our design on paper. Now, what you need to bear in mind is that you want your, I'm going to do a short name for this tutorial just for obvious reasons, that you're not going to be here all night otherwise, or you would be here all night otherwise. So you want to make sure that all the letters are joined and that there's a kind of curly bit on the end. So you can see on this one, the A kind of goes up, end and the beginning. And because it's an L, you know, it's kind of there already. So it's 2 bits for the ribbon to attach to. No, but I'm enjoying looking at lots of craft websites. Yes, I know, Elizabeth. That's so true, isn't it? It's definitely got the more kind of buy local, buy handmade vibe this year, which is really nice. So I'm going to do Liz. And so I'm going to start with my L. Hopefully you can see that. Ah, 35 days, 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Get shopping, people. So I'm going to do, hopefully you can see that, and it's not too light. I'm trying to do it as dark as possible. So I'm going to do the I, and I'm going to do the Z, and I'm going to kind of go up, like I said, on the ends. And I'm trying to go over it so you can see it. Like that. Don't need to worry about the dot. I will show you what I'm going to do for that. Okay, so you could add in a swirly bit if you wanted to. Maybe I'll try and do that when it comes to it. Okay, so I've got my name. Just going to put that to one side. And I'm going to get the female. So I'm going to start with my white to make sure that's nicely activated. So I want to know, what is your favourite Christmas song? Do you have a favourite Christmas song? So I'll tell you a funny story that I was looking at Christmas jumpers with my kids earlier, because they've got Christmas jumper day at school, which I totally hadn't thought about. So that's more money I'm going to be spending. Christmas jumpers. So we were looking at Christmas jumpers, and one of them had Feliz Navidad on it. So I started singing Feliz Navidad because the kids didn't know that song. And my little one was singing, who's 3, Anis Navidad. Anis Navidad, which is quite sweet. It made us laugh. Celia Navidad. What does that mean? Oh, Feliz Navidad. Yes, Feliz Navidad. Do you hear what I hear? That is such a good song. So I'm activating it, and then I'm also making it into a sausage. So we want to make a really long sausage, especially if you've got a long name that you're going to be making. And I'm sure there's different ways, but this is kind of how I like to do it. So you can either do it like this. Slade, so here it is, Merry Christmas, reminds me of tours around my infant school to look at each Oh, that's so sweet. I love it how music and smells and everything can take you straight back to different periods of time. It's amazing, isn't it? So it kind of goes a bit funny when you do that, but the weight also helps it as well. It does look a bit strange though, I must admit. So you want to try and keep it uniform, so I'm turning it around. That's going back 45 years. You shouldn't say that, Claire. No one would know. So what's your favourite Christmas song? Let me know. We've got Slade, we've got Do You Hear What I Hear? Feliz Navidad, which is a complete earworm in our house now, thanks to me. So now I'm kind of going along and I'm making it quite like a skinny sausage. You don't want it too fat because it's not going to go around those letters. So is anybody actually crafting along? Away in a Manger makes me emotional remembering my children's. Oh, I know. It's so rare that schools actually do nativities now. I think my kids still have only just done one, I think. Silver Bells and Silent Night. Yeah, good songs. Yeah, it's really sad that obviously kids can't do it. Can't do their shows this year. But I noticed a lot of them are doing kind of Zoom calls and stuff. Is my bracelet really annoying? Sorry about that, the sound. So I'm just keep going. This takes a bit of a while, I'm afraid. I might just take that bracelet off because it's annoying me, so it must be annoying you. Favourite hymn is Once in Royal David City. Yeah, that's good too. So I'm just making it into a long sausage. Doesn't matter if it's too long, even going off a bit, which is not great. So don't forget as well to tell me what your favourite craft is. Are you just curious about you want to try a new craft, that's why you're here, or are you a serial crafter like me? Tried everything. Do you have a favourite craft? Do you like painting, sewing, glass making? So we're going even more slimmer, skinnier. Move that out of the way. Knitting. What kind of things do you knit? What's your name? Lynn. Lynn, sorry. The computer's quite far away. I think maybe I need glasses. I sew a lot, Julie. I sew a lot, do some beading, some clay. I love it all, but I cannot knit, crochet, or paint. So does that mean that you want to knit, crochet, and paint, Julie? So many pet portraits to get done this weekend. Fascinating faces. Oh, that sounds cool. Has that been keeping you busy? I make jewelry and I love painting rocks. Oh, cool. Do you sell the jewelry and the rocks? I would like to crochet, that's it. Yeah, I've done a bit of crochet. I used to do crochet graffiti. We had a little group called Knit the City in London, and we did quite a few fun projects. Yeah, I'm sorry, Claire. Fascinating faces. So many. Oh, it's been keeping you busy. I remember what I asked now. It's been keeping you busy. Just the jewelry. You sell the jewelry. Oh, cool. Plus, spent many hours creating my first website. Oh, congratulations. Wix. Yeah, I didn't get on with Wix. I'm a WordPress gal, I'm afraid. Yeah, cool. Well done. Congratulations. I know what a slog that is. Chantel, the host, has said, yeah, WordPress. At the moment, this is Lynn. At the moment, I'm knitting Santa hats and Christmas puddings for chocolate covers. Oh, cool. Okay, so is that for chocolate oranges? So I'm still going with this sausage. It's taking quite a long time. I probably should have done, here's one I made earlier, but I'm afraid I didn't. But now I need to do the same with the red. So I'm just going to pop that up there. Claire's saying I can't see everyone's comments. Claire, I think it's because that we're on different platforms. So I believe, and I'm sure Chantel will tell me, I believe we're on YouTube and Facebook and the website. There may be more, or I may have got that wrong. But I think that's why you can't see everyone's comments. So I'm just working up that red again. I did do it before we went on, but obviously it needs a little bit more. It's gone a bit harder as well. Yeah, that's why. Okay, we are live on 2 Facebook pages, several Facebook groups, YouTube, and of course, christmasmarket2020.com. So hello to wherever you're watching from. And apologies if you can't see all the comments. Oh, so you're making the Santa hats and Christmas puddings for Ferrero Rocher or Lindor chocolates. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. I've not seen that on those. I've seen it on oh, hi from Alberta. I've seen it on chocolate oranges. But can you get chocolate oranges around the world? Or is it just a British thing? Let me know. If you're not from the UK, can you get chocolate oranges? Amanda says she's watching too. She can't see him. Oh, hello, Amanda. Hello. Sorry, you can't comment. Terry's chocolate orange is in Canada and America, I'm sure. Oh, brilliant. I'd be very sad if you couldn't get chocolate orange. Mandy, you can see them now. You can comment hello. Okay, so I'm doing this sausage again. And don't forget to let me know, is anybody actually making along with me? I'm curious to know if anyone is. Or if you're going to try this, I'm going to have a bit of a play with Fimo and see what you can do for your presents. Liven them up, jazz it up. I'm trying to go a bit faster with this sausage, but you know, sometimes these things take a bit of time. So I got another question for you to go with the what's your favorite Christmas song? What's your favorite Christmas smell? My favorite Christmas smell is cinnamon, I think. Amanda says, I'm going to try the same. I'm sure you mean the same. Oh, the name. Oh, the name. Sorry. No, you do mean name. Using silk clay. Yes, do it, Amanda. I want to see what you do as well. And also, I've received 100 messages today with the Restream chat. That's good. Gingerbread. Gingerbread is so good. And I'm really jealous of all you American and Canadian people because you just get all the best candles and best holiday treats and Christmas tree. That is a good smell, Christmas tree smell. I had so much to do over the next 3 days and now I'm going to spend hours with Fimo. I'm really sorry, Fascinating Faces. I told you I'm an enabler. I can't help it. I just Laurelia, is that Laurelia? I hope I'm saying your name right. Pine, cinnamon, and country home. What's country home? And sprouts. Amanda. I don't think I'm your friend anymore, Amanda. I hate sprouts. Love gingerbread. Yes, Lynn. Now we're talking. We're back to gingerbread. Not coming to your house for Christmas dinner, Amanda. I still want to know what country home. What does country home smell like? Like I'm totally not concentrating on this now. My sausage has gone all awry. So I'm still trying to even it out now. So I'm moving my hand to the different bits. Mulled wine, yes. I wish I had made some mulled wine before. I should have done that. I've got boring old water, I'm afraid. Be gone with your sprouts. Yes, I totally agree. Chantal agrees with mulled wine, yes. Mulled wine is good. I kind of miss going, you know, it's so sad this year, isn't it, that we can't kind of pop round to friends and have mulled wine and stuff. To see, we're in the UK, we're having our announcement this week, I think, about what's going to happen with Christmas. About how thick do you roll it? It's up to you, really. So this one is about 5 mil, about, what's that, about 1/4 of an inch. And ideally this would be similar as well, or the same. It doesn't matter if too much, if it's not exactly the same. Adds to the charm, doesn't it, being handmade? So now we've done that, I'm just going to pop those two together. And now this is the kind of, not tricky, but what you want to do is you kind of want to stick them together. Now if you're using silk clay or air dry clay, I'm just going to chop that end off as well. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to chop that end off so it's the same. So Lorelia has replied to, what is it called, Country Home. It's a combination of cinnamon, wood stove burning, clove, and it's chopped off the next word. But that sounds interesting. Cinnamon cloves, oh, so good. So then what you want to do, is what I'm doing, is you twirl it around like this. Can you see? It's kind of easier doing it on the flat. But you want to make sure as well that this bit doesn't get knotted. And I'm twirling it around like this. And if I'm honest, that is a bit thick how I've done it. Sprouts and smells shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence. I totally agree with you, Joan. That's why sprouts are just wrong. They're just wrong. No, no, no. So I'm twirling it around. Can you see? And if you're a face painter, you will know all about this. And Amanda, who is in the comments, is a bit of a bling making queen. And what you can do, which is fun for the kids as well, another thing you can do with this technique, and I will show you, hopefully I'll have some left over and I can show you. I will tell you when I get there. What you can also make with them, which kids love, and you can add to your creations. So I'm twirling that around, twirly, twirly, all the way. Now you can leave it like that. Looks a bit like, you know, you get those rubbers and smiggle. And you can roll it out a bit more, which I'm going to do because I want mine to be a bit thinner. I made it a bit thick, if I'm honest. Probably a bit too honest for my own good. But I'm just going to roll that out a bit thinner. And you get a candy cane effect. And I would say if you're, yes, like candy canes, Joan, exactly. If you're using air dry clay, it just doesn't have as much elasticity. It's got like less working time, so you're going to have to do this a bit quicker. So that's kind of how I want it. I'm going to bring back my name that we did earlier. And then what you want to do, I'm not going to do that swirl because I've made it a bit thick. I'm just going to chop that end off. Move my polar bear out of the way a bit. Chop that end off so you've got a nice end. Start that there. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to kind of twirl it around like that. Can you see? And I'm just following that round. I'm going to chop that there. Start again at the Z. Now obviously you could print off letters as well if you didn't want to draw them. find a nice swirly font. And as I say, as long as you've got that kind of lip at the end, a lot of letters won't have that, and something to hold on to at the beginning, you're going to be all right. So then you want to chop that kind of there, so you've got that lip. And if you did it a lot thinner, you could add swirl, you can do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to squish that down a bit, I'm going to twirl that around. And then what you want to do for your eye, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a nice tool. Let's use my pointy stick again. And you can just, and I also, on this one up here, I used the end of a pencil, which, I can use this. So I've got a mechanical pencil. Take out the rubber or the eraser. Got a nice kind of round hole. And you can just push that in. Oops, can you see? That's made a kind of dot, and it just gives the illusion of the eye. But of course you can do it however you want. So because I'm not going to bake it, I'm just going to leave that to one side, and then I'm going to show you. Let's put that over there. I'm going to show you how I attached it to the present. So I'm going to take this one off. And I also did a bit of fancy wrapping on this one as well. So to do that, you just do like 3 folds. Can you see it's just folded paper. As you wrap it, it goes around the side. Just gives it a bit more interest underneath the word. So you don't have to just, you know, wrap it plainly. So then once you've baked it, it's still a bit flexible. You don't want it to snap. Can you see that? And again, I think I did this for 20 minutes at 110 Celsius. And then these, as I say, these are little embellishments. You can just buy these off of eBay, etc. And there's a really good place that I mentioned before called Happy Henna Bling in the UK. And she sells all different little cabochons and embellishments that you can stick on as well. Quite a nice little touch. You could even bake things and then like stick them to the top, so you could bake a tag like that, and then you could stick, she does like little reindeers and stuff, you could stick that on top. There we go. So we're going to attach it with our ribbon that we used earlier, and what have we done with my scissors? I'm just going to pull off quite a long, so it needs to be kind of double, so I'm just going to kind of go like that and a bit extra to be safe. And then what you need to do is you want to kind of go like, what's that? It's kind of like a third, and you want to wrap that around the first letter. And then it's a little bit tricky, this, it's a little bit of kind of logistics, and then you want to go round, kind of need another pair of hands at this stage. Wrap that round, kind of hold that there, hopefully you guys can see, and then you want to loop that round, that loop. And as this was the first one, really, I should have done that little spike a bit longer. But it still works, it's fine. You could always add a dab of glue underneath, a bit of hot glue or something, if you were worried about it. So you do that, hook it on the 2 ends. Love Happy Henna Bling, they're so good, aren't they? They sell so many different stuff. And this is the tricky bit, because you've got to kind of wiggle it until it gets to the right, what's the word, length. And then, I think that's right, I'm going to tuck that under there and just make a knot. And tuck that through there. Fiddly fiddly wee. Fiddly dee. There we go. Hopefully that's stayed on when I turn it over. And then you can just kind of rejig it and get that looking nice. It's probably not going to do it because obviously we're doing this live and nothing ever works when you do things live. But anyway, you get the idea. So there we go. So there's two ways you can do it. We've done the tag and we've done the kind of candy cane letter or word. And then you could either just curl that like I did before or chop the ends. And yeah, just have a play. And I just wanted to show you as well what my 9-year-old did with a normal cookie cutter and Fimo, which I thought was really fun. She did that all on her own. And it's just shows you what you can do with Fimo. You know, you can hang that on the tree. That would be a really nice gift for family. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, so that it's just really simple. It's a great thing to do with the kids. I can't remember how much a kit of the Fimo is, but it's not very expensive. And considering you get all the tools and everything, you can really go to town. I mean, that would look really cute on a present as well, wouldn't it? With some curly ribbon. So yeah, have fun with it. And don't forget to pop over to the YouTube. My details are here. Studio 77, and lots of fun Christmas projects coming up. I've got the, as I say, I've got the free pattern for the penguin, free pattern for the polar bear comes out tomorrow. And I've also got the stocking, Christmas stocking coming up as well. And I'm going to be doing the same tutorial on there too. So you can find me on there. And I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for all your comments. Thanks for saying hello. It's so exciting to speak to everyone from around the world. I wish you all a very happy COVID-free Christmas. Let's hope this all goes away. And thanks so much. So lovely, Emma. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much, Fascinating Faces. And Julie, I'm so glad you loved it. And thank you, Joan. And yeah, have a great Christmas. And I'll see you over on YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.